Hello everyone, welcome to Full Movie Recap channel. Today, you'll hear a brief summary of the movie Cellular. Enjoy watching. Jessica Martin saw her son off to the preschool, and returned to her mansion. Suddenly, a group of thugs burst in and shot the housekeeper. They threw Jessica into a car and brought her to a house. The leader shoved her into the attic and then smashed the phone to pieces with a sledgehammer. Left alone, the blonde woman inspected the room and returned to the broken phone, which was still emitting a dial tone. Meanwhile, Ryan was walking along the pier with his buddy, Chad, when he saw his ex-girlfriend. She once again listed the reasons why she broke up with him. "You're irresponsible, selfish, and completely immature." To prove he had changed, Ryan agreed to hand out flyers and pick up some t-shirts from the office. At the same time, hoped to reach someone. That someone turned out to be slacker Ryan. Jessica explained that she'd been kidnapped and begged the stranger to contact the police. Ryan thought it was a joke to hang up, but Jessica's desperate and genuine crying made him reconsider. She begged him to fulfill her request and visit the police station. At the station, Sergeant Bob Mooney, who was fed up with 27 years of service and planning to open a spa with his wife, was on duty. A news report about a crime scene near a warehouse, where two bodies were found apparently from a gang conflict, was playing on TV. Ryan rushed into the station and handed the phone to Sergeant Mooney. Jessica repeated her story, but Mooney got to her with a belt, and Ryan realized that this was no joke. Ryan shouted, "Ethan over her!" Another thug, who needed Jessica's husband. For now, they planned to blackmail Jessica by threatening her son. Ethan sent two accomplices to the boys' school to kidnap him. Ryan sped up, but poor signal caused interference. He had to stop to ensure the connection wouldn't drop. Jessica never made it to Detective Tanner. The story kept nagging at him, so he decided to personally investigate what had happened with Jessica Martin. Back at the attic, Ethan suddenly showed up again. Jessica's husband had just left a voicemail arranging to meet at a specific location. Jessica claimed not to know where it was. To ensure she wasn't lying, the thugs showed her a video of her son. "Either you tell me what this place is, or you'll never see your son again," Ethan threatened. "Oh God." Jessica broke car. Ryan almost entered a tunnel, which would have cut off the call, so he quickly reversed, waved sarcastically at the lawyer, and drove off. The thugs arrived at the airport before Ryan. Jessica had described what her husband, Craig, was wearing. Ryan stole someone's ticket to get through security and came up with a clever plan. He slipped a gun into Ethan's jacket just as he went through the X-ray scanner. The thugs were immediately detained by a swarm of police officers. However, they were quickly released when it was revealed that they were undercover cops. Meanwhile, Ryan managed to reach Craig before they did and shoved him into a restroom along with a phone. Unfortunately, Ryan had to hand it over. The cops drove Craig to the bank, while Ryan was forced to take a taxi since the stolen Porsche had already been found by the police. At the same time, Mooney, lounging in his spa with an avocado mask, saw Ryan's face on TV. The news reported him as a fugitive involved in a series of bizarre crimes. The smug lawyer also appeared, mentioning Jessica, someone allegedly kidnapped. Mooney called the Martins' house and heard Jessica's real voice on the answering machine. Realizing the woman earlier had tricked him, stuck in traffic, Ryan abandoned the taxi and ran on foot toward the bank, where Craig was already being escorted to the safety deposit box. Ryan entered the building right behind them. Craig retrieved a bag from the deposit box, and the cops got what they wanted. But at that moment, Ryan attacked them, snatched the bag, and fled, pursued by a bald thug. While trying to escape, Ryan dropped his phone, which shattered into pieces from the height. Sliding down a pipe, he managed to save himself, but had no phone. Prioritizing his safety, Ryan remembered the Porsche, now impounded, still had his own phone inside. After getting another taxi, Ryan opened the bag from the safety deposit box. Inside, he found a camera. Reviewing the footage, Ryan discovered that Craig had been recording his real estate properties in the camera. So the sergeant circled a house and found a broken door. Entering cautiously, he was immediately shot by the woman who had pretended to be Jessica. Despite the injury, police officer Mooney called for an ambulance, but it was too late to save her. Meanwhile, the smug lawyer went to the impound lot to retrieve his car, only for Ryan to steal his car again. Detective Tanner arrived at the Martins' house, curious about what Mooney had discovered, but Mooney had no idea what was truly going on. Threw her into an old mirror and attempted to subdue her. The biology teacher grabbed a shard of glass and severed the thug's brachial artery. Apologizing to him sarcastically, "Jessica," remarked he, "bleed out in 5 minutes." Quietly, Jessica slipped out of the attic and ran toward the outbuilding where her son was being held. She didn't have time to free him before the criminals returned. Ryan called Ethan, informing him that he had what Ethan was looking for. What Ethan received a frantic call from Tanner, who was losing control of the situation. Jessica told her son to hide deeper inside the building, then got into a car and rammed it into the structure. The boy ducked into the back seat, and they were about to escape when Titan appeared. Holding a gun to her husband's head, he forced Jessica to get out of the car. Finally, Ryan managed to call Ethan. "How did you get this number?" Ethan asked. "Modern technology works wonders. My phone remembers the last 50 incoming calls," Ryan replied smugly. He threatened to hand the incriminating tape over to journalists, unless the bald detective agreed to trade the tape for Jessica and her family. They arranged to meet in a crowded place. Ethan immediately told Tanner everything. Tanner brought Mooney along. "Call him again,"